Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Haley. Today I am very excited because I'm gonna go over my June favorites. You can hear the birds outside. It's later than I usually film, and I'm a little late on this video because we're already into July, but I figured I had some things I really wanted to share about, so let's just get into it. First is one that I have shown a few times on my channel. It's the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation, and I've shown this a few times, I think in a few different favorites videos as well, but I actually repurchased this while I was in Vegas for a conference, and part of me choosing it was like, I knew I liked it. It's more of a medium coverage. It does not have a scent. That was my main thing, along with when I looked up the ingredients, I did not find any super harmful ingredients for the baby because I am pregnant, if you didn't know. I use an app called Little Bean. Just know if you're going to use it, it really goes through each ingredient, even the ones that are like the risk is super, super low, it's going to tell you, which I actually think is a good thing, but just know you might need to do more research and use your discernment, but it's kind of cool because it tells you what the studies have shown and things like that. So I've been enjoying that one, but when I look it up, this foundation seems pregnancy safe. Honestly, if you look things up, nothing is good for you and your baby, so you really, really have to do your own research and discernment, and mainly talking to your doctor about stuff. So anyway, this is a foundation that seemed like it would be working for me during this time. The main thing was pregnancy safe, but also the scent, and I do like the coverage. So I forgot how much I liked this foundation. I feel like I used to like a much higher coverage, and recently I have moved into more medium coverage, and this is perfect for that. And I love that you can kind of manipulate the finish based on what you put underneath. So if you use like a glowy primer, it'll be a little more glowy. Also with what you put on top, if you use a foundation, I used a powder foundation that's a little bit more glowy today, and I just kind of fixed my makeup. This is the very end of the day. I was out by the hot tub, not in the hot tub, but I was out by the hot tub, and it was hot, right? So I was sweating a little bit. Then I put my feet in the actual pool, and I was sweating a little bit, so I had to kind of fix this before I jumped on camera. So just know it doesn't look the best, but I have really been loving this foundation. It's mainly all I've been reaching for, except for when I need something with SPF, because again, you can only use certain types of SPF in pregnancy, so I have something separate that I reach for that. Next is one that I am very late to the party on. It's the Rare Beauty Bronzer Stick, and this is in the shade Bright Side. You can twist up and then you can bring it back down. I can kind of swatch it for you. It's a really pretty tone. This is very easy to blend. I can see why so many people love it. I remember one of my best friends, when she got married, her makeup artist used this on her wedding day and said how much she loved it. So I've always wanted to try it, but I finally, while I was in Vegas, anytime I go somewhere where I can go into an actual Sephora, I don't go crazy, but I'm a little more spendy because, you know, when am I going to get this chance again to actually see the products and swatch them in person? So I really like this. Only thing is, with certain foundations, if you swipe it on, it can move the product underneath around like your foundation. So I like to either put it on a brush ahead of time, or I like to kind of dot it on a little bit and then blend it out, and then usually it's fine. So just know swiping doesn't always work, at least with me, but I do really like the product and it really blends out beautifully. And if you're around my skin tone, this tone for the contour is beautiful. It's pigmented, but I wouldn't say it's like too pigmented, but it's not as subtle as something like the e.l.f. putty bronzers. I've been loving that one recently too, but I might have to save that for next month because I'm still sort of trying it out again. But I've been enjoying that one, and that one is a much more subtle contour. This one will not be subtle. It's not overly pigmented, but it's not going to be subtle either. You guys are going to laugh at me for this one because it is an extremely old product. I mean, it's new. I bought it new, but it is an OG product that people used to go crazy over, and I never understood why until now. So it is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I have a mini size here. So I have this in the shade 12 Neutral. First thing I need to start with, because you guys know I've been very sensitive to smells, the smell of this, I hate how fragrant this is. That would be the biggest yeah, this would be the biggest downfall for it. But the actual finish, I feel like my skin I feel like used to be a lot more dry, especially because around when this was popular is when I was on Accutane. So I think I did buy the actual size of this at one point and I did try it, but I wasn't crazy about it because it kind of looked dry and almost crepey under my eyes. But I think because I have more of a normal combination skin tone now, this just looks beautiful. I understand why people like it so much, and a little bit does go a long way, but I honestly just put a little bit right here. I don't even, for me, because I have oily eyelids, I don't put it over here because it ends up kind of pilling up and looking bad, like falling apart on the sides of my eyes. But if I put it just here and then I blend it out with a beauty blender, at first you're like, oh, this is gonna be dry. And then once it's on and blended in and I put a setting powder on it, a very light setting powder, it just looks airbrushed and beautiful. I also love this one for cream highlighting the face. Especially if I have a foundation that's maybe a little bit too dark for me, this can really help to brighten up the face, and it blends out beautifully for that. I just wish it did not have a scent. But it's so funny, all these years later, I finally get it. So when I run out of this, I might buy the full size. I have a couple different concealers that I'm trying to go through right now, but it's definitely a possibility that I would buy it because I am really enjoying it. I've reached for this a lot since I bought it. I bought it the same time as that contour stick and the foundation. This is an oldie but a goodie. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Quad. Guys, I pulled this back out again because I found it in my drawer and I was like, oh my gosh, I used to love this so much. As you can tell by how I've hit pan on 2 of the shades, almost 3, and this is just beautiful, and my eye look always looks good every time. I like to put this shade all over the lid, and then depending on how I'm feeling, I'll either put this one in the crease or this one in the crease. And then I use this one in the outer corner when I do use this one in the crease, and this is just a beautiful glitter topper. So I talked about this in my recent eyeshadow declutter, but it's such a pretty eyeshadow palette. And it's old though, you guys. This is potentially 4 years old. So I actually really want to get a new quad, not Pillow Talk again, but the one that has caught my eye is their Exaggerize one. That one looks similar. It's more of a rose gold, I think, but it looks really pretty and I'm seriously considering buying it. But these are so expensive, you guys. These are like $55, but they're beautiful. So, I mean, I will say I feel like I got my money's worth with this one. I'm still using it. It's still beautiful. I hit pan on most of the shades, so I am happy with my purchase. Actually, my mom might even buy this one for me. I don't remember, but I love it and I really want another one. Another eye makeup product, we have the Too Faced Better Than Sex Liquid Liner. I'm really enjoying this. I do feel like you're either gonna like this one or not like this one. I don't think there's a lot of in between. And what I mean by that is it's a brush tip. Some people really prefer a felt tip. It's pretty black and pigmented. You can make a good wing with it. But what I like about this one is that it doesn't instantly dry down and stick to your face, which I think a lot of people will not like. But the reason why I like it is if I mess up on my wing, it's really easy to fix it. Sometimes I can just take my pinky nail and just kind of push the wing up a little bit, and it's still wet enough that I can manipulate the shape of the wing with it. So if you were using like Q-tip or something, but it's not so wet that you put it on and it instantly transfers onto the top of your eyes or anything like that. Like, it's there, but you can still manipulate where it goes and the shape of your wing. And I really like that because I think I've run into a lot of times with liquid liners, they are instantly attached to my face and I make a mistake and I can't change it at all without grabbing a makeup wipe and completely taking off the wing and that entire section of makeup as well. And so I like that you can manipulate this one, but I think some people will not like that as well. For me, usually it lasts all day. I will say because I was sweating today, I don't know if you can tell, let me get really close. In this corner, oh, I put on a fake lash, so you can't really tell, but in this corner, it kind of bled up a little bit because I do have oily eyelids and I was sweating, but I'd never noticed that before. So I would say I wouldn't go out with this one. I wouldn't wear it to the pool or the beach or something, or if you're gonna go for a hike, but Usually for most days, this one stays on pretty well for me. So I like it. I just don't think it's for everyone. Okay, and this next one I have been so excited about, and come to find, I think it's like going viral on TikTok. I don't have TikTok, so I have no idea, but it's just funny because I didn't find it from that. It is the MAC blush, their matte blush in the shade Copper Tone. I have heard that this is having a moment on TikTok. Like I said, I don't have TikTok, so I don't know anything about that. But I also bought this one when I was in Vegas. But funny enough, the Vegas airport has a MAC. It's more than just a kiosk, but I'll call it a kiosk. In the center near the food court, you know, there's lots of different parts of the Vegas airport, but I was flying back home to Hawaii, and in that little gate area, they had a MAC store. And I told my principal, because it was a work trip, I was like, oh, you guys go on ahead. I'm going to go in the MAC store. And she was like, all right. So I asked her, because I'm a big blush fan, which blush is her favorite. And she told me that one of her very favorites is this one, and it looked beautiful on her. It is truly a copper kind of shade. It looks like it's going to be a little too almost orangey undertoned, but it's not. And I asked her, what do you think would be the best blush for my skin tone? And she said, well, for summer, I actually think Copper Tone would be really pretty on you. Do you want to try it? And so she took me to kind of the front of the store and she put some on me, and it did look really, really pretty. And I thought on my skin tone that it wouldn't, but it does look just really bronzy in a good way. And it doesn't swatch the best, I will say that much. So I'll put a lot on there. And it does look like it's going to be too orangey. I'm not wearing it today, but when it's actually on my skin, it does look absolutely beautiful. And I have worn it almost every day since I bought it. And I'm so glad that I talked to her. But then I was so excited, and then I heard that this is kind of everywhere again. This is having a moment. So it's just kind of funny. Maybe that's why she suggested it to me. I'm not sure. But she was, oh my gosh, this worker was gorgeous at the MAC store. You could tell she knew what she was talking about, and her makeup was flawless. She was so pretty, and I was like, oh my gosh. But this was a fantastic suggestion, and I'm really glad that I found it. And I may have a MAC blush video coming very soon because they have reformulated some of my favorite blushes, and I am excited to try them for you guys. Okay, last but not least, I actually have a hair product. And I had to mention this month because I have used it every time I wash my hair, and it's amazing. It's the Bumble and Bumble Don't Blow It Fine Hair Styler. So it's for air dried hair. This is truly amazing. I never blow dry my hair, ever. I probably blow dry my hair 3 times a year. And it's only when I really want to have it dry so that I can style it. Almost always I wash my hair and I let it air dry, whether it's in the morning or in the evening. More so than anything, it's usually in the evening. And the way this works is, again, I'm not crazy about this scent, but it does have a scent, so just know that. But it's this really interesting consistency of like a cream. And what you do is after washing your hair, you towel dry it for a while. So normally I'll put on some moisturizer. I will, maybe put on clothes for the day or pajamas or whatever it is. There are so many birds around me. Those are birds, you guys. Hawaii. Oh my gosh. We're just going to try to ignore it. So after washing your hair, you let it air dry a little bit. And then I'll put in a detangler because my hair gets really tangled. And I will brush it through with a comb. And then I'll put this in. And my hair air dries so well. So I used this yesterday. I will say it's not going to turn out as well if you wash it and then you go to sleep, because obviously your hair is going to get all tousled with your pillow and all that. And I know a lot of people feel a certain way about sleeping with your hair wet. I tend to do it, but I know really you shouldn't. It's not great for your hair. So if you're doing that, this is not going to work as well. But if you can take a shower depends on when you go to bed, but I normally go to bed around like 8:30. So if I take a shower around 4 or 4:30, if I have a few hours to let my hair air dry, it looks beautiful. It is not frizzy, which is amazing to me because my hair also gets really frizzy, and it doesn't get tangly again. It looks super shiny. It's soft. It looks really healthy. Again, I am pregnant, so it could be pregnancy hormones, but until I was using this consistently, I didn't really notice a big difference in my hair. So I really think it's this. So I have fine hair. So it's specifically made for fine hair, which is great. And then again, it's for when you're air drying your hair. But it also says that it's good alone or layered with other BB stylers before air drying. So I do think you can layer this. And like I said, I've layered it with leave-in conditioner first to help detangle and then put this in, and it looks just beautiful. So I think this is a really great product for that as well. I love it. It's really pricey because it's Bumble and Bumble. I got it at the Ulta in my Target, but highly recommend. If you usually air dry your hair more than anything and you have fine hair, you will love this. It's amazing. All right, everyone, that is everything. Let me know if you've tried any of these products. What do you think? If you haven't, what do you recommend for this month? I'm really getting back into makeup and I'm so excited about it. Like I said, I have a MAC blush video coming up. I have a MAC lipstick video coming soon too, which seem to be a favorite on my channel. So just know fun things are coming. I hope you'll stay with me. If you enjoyed this video, I hope that you will subscribe and give it a like. It does really help out my channel. If you're already subscribed, I hope you'll hit the notification bell so you get notified when I upload new videos. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Love you guys. Bye.